Stay. Welcome back. Okay, so long time no see. When I say this, you're probably thinking, what? What does that mean? You just uploaded a video like a second ago. I've actually finished The Wild. I watched episode 10 weeks ago. A little bit of movie magic for you there, YouTube magic. This has not been real time. I said it was going to be real time, but then stuff happened and it wasn't real time anymore. In this time, my hard drive crashed, my external hard drive. And I know you don't really care about this, but I feel like I need to get it off my chest. It had all my videos on, so I had to re-record the actual episodes, but it turns out that episode 9 that I filmed, my original videos got wiped. Unfortunately, I am not going to be uploading a video of me reacting to episode 9, which is sad. I'm sorry about that, but to make up for it, I thought we'd do something fun, a little bit spicy, something different. Today, I am going to be rating The Wild's characters. That's right, you heard it. I also appreciate everyone commenting on my previous video with suggestions for what I should watch next. A lot of things I have not seen, but the majority of things I have seen, so there's definitely a type here. Like, I can tell that the people who watch The Wild also watch like Bly Manor and You and things like that, which are my vibes. I've seen a lot of stuff, but one thing that I haven't seen that was recommended more than once is Killing Eve. So, I think that might be my next endeavour. Right, okay, so here is my list, my tier list. I did not make this tier list, I'm not going to pretend that I did. I just found it. But it does mean that there are a couple characters missing. Alex is not on there, I don't think. You know, my man Alex, the good-looking one. And I know you can add things to this, but no. I'd probably put Alex in pretty fine, because of the Cake by the Ocean dance. Purely because of the dance. Waste time with the masterpiece, waste time with the masterpiece. Right, where should we start? Should we start at the beginning with Tony? I've never used, oh, that's fun, look at that. Do you see that? You just move it there. This is a fun little website. Let's start with Tony, right. The first thought I had about Tony was that she was hot. She's hot. But I grew to be slightly annoyed with her because of the sheer anger. She chose violence, you know? And I don't mean that in like a quirky, memey way. I mean like she literally chose violence. In any situation she resorts to walls up, I'm gonna be violent towards you. However, when we then got to her episode, I had a lot of sympathy for her. Like a lot of sympathy for her. Like I can't even imagine being in the situation that she is in. And then she chills down when Shelby comes into the picture, should we say. And she behaves really well with Shelby, you know. She doesn't tease her. She really plays it safe. You know how the golden retrievers with the eggs in their mouth, you know how golden retrievers can like hold eggs in their mouth and like not break them? She's like that with Shelby. So I say, we're just gonna have to say God, aren't we? We're just gonna have to say God. Right, Gretchen. Now this is an interesting one because she is powerful, and I know that the automatic reaction with Gretchen is she is an evil person, which is true. However, the power that she holds, I can't deny it. So I'm torn. Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith, and this is how I feel. Sorry. I think we're gonna have to go with sure. Like it's directly in the middle between God and no, and that is exactly the two areas that are pulling me. This guy. Well, I don't like him, and I'll tell you for why I don't like him. When he was chatting to Leah in episode 7, was it? I think? No, 6. I don't remember. And then he said to Gretchen afterwards, oh, it's good that she feels guilty because then she'll be less inclined to out us. Immediate no. Immediate no tier. Also, like, I don't trust his face. Ooh, Rachel. This is a toughie. I admire Rachel, but I don't stan her. I think that she's mean to Nora in many ways and I understand like the whole jealous sibling thing and that whole complex, but also all Nora is doing is trying to be supportive of her, and all she has to do is either push her away or make fun of the fact that she wants to be close to her. I also think like she is the typical go-getter athlete. She just wants to get to the top and will do anything to make sure that she gets there. Like I said, it's kind of admirable because I don't have that strength, but also at the same time is not healthy and hurts other people. So I think I'm going to put her in the sure tier. There's nothing about her that shines to me. Do you know what I mean? Shelby Goodkind. Right, here we are. Miss Mia Healy. Oh, good Lord. This woman has thrown me through a loop. You could check out my love song for Mia Healy. I'll put it right there. It's a thing. So I started off the series absolutely hating Shelby. As soon as she opened her mouth and that Texan accent came out, I was like,
I'd like to propose a little icebreaker.
I hate her. I hope she dies first. With that being said, by the end of the series, I was very much for her. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't go as far to say I stand her. Like, I wasn't like, oh my god, queen, goddess. I think that will maybe happen in season 2. Shellbald, that was a whole thing. Like, I feel like Shellbald is my kind of Shelby. That's the Shelby I want to be seeing. I love her optimism. I did hate it at the beginning, but I love it. I think that it's so necessary in this kind of situation. I wish she wouldn't refer to Jesus as much as she did, but each to their own, you know. I think religion helps people get through things, and if it's helping her, that's great. What I would love to see for Shelby, I don't want her to give up on her faith. I don't want her to give up on her religion. And I know that while watching the series, made a bunch of jokes about like, oh, religion is like BS or whatever. But actually, I don't want her to stop believing in whatever she believes in. I think that it's super commendable to have faith. So I would love her to find a way of being able to balance both her faith and sexuality. I think for right now, I'm gonna put her in pretty fine. Because she is pretty fine, you know? When I see her, I'm like, yeah, you're pretty fine. Right, now we have Leah. Bloody hell. My opinions about Leah didn't really change throughout the series, apart from the fact that I was happy that she was more woke than the others in terms of what was actually going on. However, she was so annoying. I think that I would be more sensitive to her if I'd ever felt this kind of teenage in love heartbreak thing, but I never did personally, and so I can imagine that that is a relatable trope for some people, but not for me. Whenever she would open her mouth and complain about it, I was just like, oh my god, the whining. So I'm gonna say meh. I think that's a very solid meh. You know what I mean? Oh my god, Martha. Right. Interesting about Martha, because episode 9, obviously, which is the episode that you are not watching me watch, I thought that her backstory was very interesting. I mean, it wasn't confirmed, but it kind of was confirmed that she was sexually assaulted by the doctor. That being the reason for her rose-tinted lenses that she is seeing the world through really makes a lot of sense and gave her a lot of girth that she didn't have before, the character I mean. Before that, I'd kind of written Martha off as kind of like, she's cute, she's naive, she's fun, she's bubbly, whatever. She didn't really do anything for me. Does that make sense? She wasn't in my bad books, but she wasn't in my good books either. Does that make sense? Can you hear my dog? Is that, can you, so I'm gonna put Martha in pretty fine. I want to know more. I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited to learn more about her in season 2, but I'm also excited to view her in season 2 with the knowledge I now have of her, because all I could really do was, like, I had 2 episodes with that newfound knowledge to then understand her. I want to explore her more, do you know what I mean? I'd love to know how her and Tony became friends, because that friendship was so surprising to me. I think it's less surprising once I saw how Tony behaved with Shelby and I saw that soft side of Tony. But before that, I was like, Tony is this like hard, cold person and Martha is this bubbly cutie. I mean, they both have like severe trauma in their lives, so it makes sense actually. Oh my god, Lynn, i.e. Jeanette, right, well, you know, I liked her in the first episode. I was like, sure, she's cute, she's nice, but again, she didn't really do anything for me. The only thing I thought of was, oh, she died, you know? And she liked pink. However, when we got to know the real Lynn behind the Jeanette, oh my god, it all changed. She is spunky, she is fierce, she's too brave for her own good, but I love that. I mean, I hate that she's dead. I've seen some theories that she's not actually dead, but I don't buy it. I feel like it would be too complex of a storyline, do you know what I mean? I feel like there have to be too many factors that have to play. But I would like to see more of her in season 2, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But I'm going to put her in God tier, because she deserves that place of honor. Nora. I've since become aware of the Helena Howard situation. Do we know what I'm talking about?
Alright, so you want to spread shit about me on the internet?
Which has weirdly made me view Nora with a different perspective. It shouldn't though, and I'm going to put that out of my mind in terms of rating her. Nora is a dark horse. Like, I feel like she is the definition of a dark horse. You see her, you think kind of nerd, bookworm, shy, introverted, all those stereotypes of the girl who sits at the back of the classroom but gets all A's, you know? However, when she opens her mouth to actually say something, it is always on point and hilarious. Her comedic moments were some of my favourite in the entire series because they were so unexpected, you know? However, and this is a factor, and I want to say right now, spoiler alert, so if you haven't watched... Wait, is it episode 9 you find out or episode 10? I can't remember. If you haven't watched the end of the series, don't skip this part. Her being the operative, first of all, absolute shocker, didn't see it coming. It makes me value her less because she's in on it, you know, and it is not something that I think is good. And you know, the fact that she was so deceitful, I mean, like, she literally brought her sister into this knowing full well what was going to happen. And I understand that she wanted the best for her sister and that she's been concerned about her and that she feels like she can't control her, she feels out of control in terms of her sister's eating disorder and blah blah blah, but also it's not her thing to control. It's Rachel's thing, it's not Nora's, and her trying to take it into her own hands is just not cool, and to take it to this extent is so not cool. I want to talk about the possible portrayal of autism in Nora, because I am autistic, and I certainly saw autistic traits in Nora. They never said outrightly that she has autism, but I want to know how people feel about that, because to my knowledge, Helena Howard doesn't have autism. And I know my mum was concerned about that. I haven't really seen anything about it online, but my mum was like, it's weird that they're getting a non-autistic actor to play this autistic person. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Anyway, long story short, I'm gonna put Nora in pretty fine, because I think that if it wasn't for her being the operative, she would be in God tier. However, we just can't excuse that behaviour. Okay, this is the guy who was dressing up as a policeman, right, at the beginning. Here's the thing. I feel like he is the best of the bad bunch. He is the most caring, and you see it particularly in... Is it the last episode when he talks to Leah? He is the most understanding, and he is the most... He wants the best for the girls. The others are treating the girls as rats in a lab, and he is treating them as actual human beings. I think I'm going to put him in Shaw. Like, I don't really know too much about him. Hopefully in season 2 he will do something to help them further, because right now, like, yeah, he's doing his best, he's giving Leah a fry or two, but it's not enough. Right, Fatin, absolute queen. This is easy, I don't even have to think about it. She is in God tier. Fatin is my favourite character. She was my favourite character from early on in the series. She spoke her mind. She was the only one that really had it clued up. I think that she was less teenage girl to me, does that make sense? Like, she seemed over it. I also think she is a comedic genius. It's just so funny. Like, she's so funny. I mean, it kind of wasn't cool that she, like, leaked her dad's news to, like, everyone, including her mum, but also happy that she did, you know? I think it was a weird way to do it, but I think her mum had the right to know, and I think in any way she would have done it, I think her mum needed to know that, and I think she needed to tell her mum. So that's good. She's, like, very much not straight. Are we all in agreement with that? Like, she makes too many comments to be fully straight. I mean, I don't think any of them are straight. Right, and finally we have Dot. Easy choice with Dot. She is going in God tier. Immediately in God tier. She is resourceful, she is hands-on, she is organised, she is logical and clear-minded, which I love, and she has gone through absolute hell. I mean, I don't know where her mum's at, and I've seen some theories of, like, maybe Gretchen is her mum, which I'm like, maybe, but also I think that she's too detached. Like, Gretchen would know that she was her mum, right? She would have given birth to her, unless she gave birth to a baby, didn't know where the baby went, and then it ended up being... No, I feel like Gretchen would know, and I feel like the way... I just don't buy it. I like to think better, but maybe that's because I'm putting Gretchen in too good of a light, thinking, oh no, Gretchen wouldn't do that to her daughter, but maybe she would. I ship Fatin and Dot. I love it. I think they are such a cute pair. All the good things I could say about Dot. In fact, this is kind of making me want to move Tony down to pretty fine, because I'm thinking about how much I love Fatin and Dot and Lynn, and how Tony isn't really there. You know what? I'm going to make the transition. I'm going to put Tony in pretty fine. Sorry, Tony, being demoted. And of course it's completely subjective. I think it's about, you know, the characters that we relate to, or maybe the personality traits that we look for in people. Right, that's it, that's my whole list. Good. Well, I'm glad I got that sorted. Good, excellent. Let me know who you consider God tier, yeah? I would love to know if anyone considers Leah God tier, because that really would just baffle me. Like, I can imagine seeing the rest of them in that light in some way. Like, you could take one attribute of theirs and be like, this is why they are God tier. But Leah, I literally can't find a single attribute that she has that I'm like, we stan. Apart from the fact that she is sus. Right, well thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry again about episode 9. It's very disappointing that the footage left me. The rejection it's hard to handle. But episode 10 will be out shortly. I remember saying though at the end of my episode 9 video that I was worried that not everything was gonna be resolved. So we'll see in episode 10 if I'm satisfied or not. I kind of want to make more videos about the wilds. I think I might make a video reacting to some theories because I've seen some, but I have not seen all theories. I definitely have not done a deep dive in theories for the wild, so maybe I'll do that. My camera literally stopped recording 2 seconds before I was done. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to see. I think I'm going to start killing Eve, so that's exciting. I would love more film recommendations though, because most of the ones I got on my previous video I've actually already seen. Let's just get fun. Like, honestly, it's 2021. Like, let's just have a good time. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty good. That's pretty fun, am I right? So stay tuned because it's gonna be mental. I say that, I'm literally just sitting on my sofa reacting to films and TV shows. That's as mental as my life gets. I don't know about you. I'm satisfied.